What I learned working with Putin is that if you create the right circumstances, it's possible to make deals, meaning that he has to realize that what he can obtain around a negotiating table is the best solution. Currently, I think he believes that he can obtain more on the battlefield in Ukraine than around the negotiating table. And that's why he hesitates to sit down with President Zelensky. That's why he rejects President Zelensky's proposal of a ceasefire. So I don't think we can change Putin's mind. His aim is to control Ukraine, but I do think we can change Putin's calculus, and we can do that by stepping up, providing more military support to Ukraine.
And just to be clear, is that happening? That is enough aid being provided so that Putin can make this realization?
Well, I think we always can agree that it's possible to do more, but I think the reality is that because of the, not least because of the bravery and the courage of the Ukrainian people, combined with the unprecedented military support from NATO allies, Putin has not succeeded. And that's not least because NATO allies have provided support to Ukraine. We need to do more, we need to continue, and at some stage that can demonstrate for Putin that he will not win on the battlefield, but has to sit down and negotiate at the negotiating table.
Okay, we're approaching the end. I do want to quickly ask you, you say in your book, in the final chapter, the afterword effectively, we must be prepared for the US to reduce its military presence in Europe. We've seen this happen recently in Romania. Do you think there's more to come?
I'm very careful speculating because I'm now not in charge, but I still believe that we need to be prepared. But it's very, if the US reduces its presence in a coordinated way with all the NATO allies, that's possible to manage. Because I think that European allies should do more for their own security, and we have seen how European allies over the last years have really started to invest more in defense. What is important is that the US stays committed to the security guarantees. If something happens in Europe, the US will be there to go together with other NATO allies. And then I also think that we need to realize that this idea that security is regional is not correct. Security is global. So what happens in Asia matters for our security. We see that in Ukraine now. China is the main provider or the main enabler of the Russian war economy.